Hey guys, what is going on? In this video, we want to cover basically why I think and when we think user experience is so important on your store. So we're going to cover exactly, how we do our best to make sure that our customers have the best experience ever. Not only so that they return and shop again, but actually refer us and we don't get, effed over in the long run. So stay tuned. Hey guys, so as mentioned, we first want to touch up on what exactly we mean by user experience. And so from my experience, from the huge community of people that I've been speaking to about dropshipping, a huge factor that stops a lot of people from scaling up to that next big level, that next big thing, is user experience. Whether their page score drops or too many chargebacks get opened or refunds or whatnot. It's a headache. It's a lot to deal with. And without having a proper team behind everything you're doing and proper kind of operational system that you're actually using on a daily basis, it's gonna be very hard to surpass that. And so, to me, user experience is one of the top two priorities for all my businesses. So of course, having good products and having a good ad strategy, is up there. But user experience is number two, number three, or if not, just number one, because you can scale and do massive numbers, but if you're getting ridiculous amounts of chargebacks and just so many unhappy customers, it's just not gonna be good in the long run. What goes around comes around, right? So, having happy customers at the end of the day is just the most important thing.
Exactly. So basically, what Corey's trying to say, guys, the user experience part of everything is a good thing. But remember, this all depends on what your long-term goals are with your business. So if you're doing something, for example, just a general store that you think you're just gonna run for the next year or so, you can do that no problem. That's no problem at all. But then there's people that actually have brands that they start out on Shopify, right? And they see long-term visions and they see what they want to do in the future with them. So those are two different kind of stores that have different long-term goals, right? A general store doesn't really last as long unless you can really brand it something that I've done. Not sure how long I would want to do it for, right? But eventually you could sell it for a pretty decent profit, right? You can flip it for literally.
Well, I mean, the big ones. I think the big ones do it really well. When you're checking out, you're doing product research, and then by accident, you stumble upon a really nice brand like Hygo.
Yeah,
Hygo or Blue Crate. Yeah, Blue Crate. And then you add to cart, you're messing around, you leave, and then they hit you with the emails.
Yeah.
And maybe you purchase, you get
they're on point, man.
All those email flows, all those retargeting and text flows, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's user experience, and of course, it's also remarketing, but it's also providing value to that customer to make sure they have the best experience ever, right? Because that's what I wanted to cover basically was having those email flows and text flows and just keeping your customer as much as possible involved in your community is so important.
Returning customers too, that's a huge thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Retargeting, right? If you can get the same customer to come back to your store multiple times, it's almost like an actual store. I think about when you go to the mall, right? Think of the stores that you shop at, the clothing brands like Nike or whatever, Adidas, right? Those brands, they've kind of brainwashed you in a way for you to keep buying their products, right? Their cool marketing campaigns that they do, or even Apple, for example. Everyone's brainwashed by Apple and their phones every single year, right? And I'm pretty stupid too because I buy their phone every 3 years, every 4 years, right?
And we all do it. We're not saying go out there and pay ridiculous amounts of money to have cool ads and stuff, but just take care of your customers. Make sure that when they're buying or if they have an issue with their order or whatnot, it just being covered. Because in the long run, you could ignore that stuff or you could hire a crappy person from the Philippines to take care of it for you. But at the end of the day, you're paying them $3 an hour. How well of a job do you think they're doing, right? Make sure your customers are actually getting actual information, and even if they're happy with their order, include them in all of those. Maybe have a Facebook group of your store, if you're that big, or just an email list or text message list. Have them included so that they know, oh yeah, I know this store. They're actually good at making me feel good when I buy their stuff. That's so important, I think, in terms of actually growing something that actually sustainable. I think it's super ridiculous to start a store and do big numbers just to have 10% of it just marked off as chargebacks and stuff. I think it's really stupid.
With user experience, it's important that you treat your customers literally like they're the best, right? You have to make them feel like they're cared for and feel like they have their opinion. And remember, when people say this, the customer's always right. The customer, technically, when entrepreneurs get into this stuff, right, they don't think they have a boss, but really the customer is your boss. At the end of the day, right, you're the ones that you're gonna have to kiss up to them, right?
Listen to them.
Well, basically, right, you have to do what they say, or else they can literally get you into a lot of trouble if you don't do what they're talking about. So again, take everything we said into a great account here, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys in the next video.